Thank you all for coming. Hello, everybody. Thanks for coming to our talk today about our experience participating in the inaugural International Experimentation Residency. My name is Stephen Takacs, and I'll be introducing Célica Veliz, the brave soul who took on the task of coordinating this program, which brought together 9 international artists from countries all over the world who speak a variety of languages, utilize a wide variety of techniques, and each have their own various technical and conceptual concerns. Célica is an artist, educator, and ceramics technician from Buenos Aires, Argentina. She obtained her degree from IPAT at the Tandil School of Ceramics. Upon completing her studies, I lost my place. Upon completing her studies, she began investigating and experimenting with 19th century photographic techniques. Her work explores the body, illness, family ties, and abandonment through autobiography, self-portrait, photographic fanzines, and wide-ranging experimentation with photographic materials. She currently coordinates workshops on experimental photography, black and white darkroom, and alternative photographic processes in her virtual space, Sensitive Surfaces. Additionally, she has been also given in-person workshops and conferences in cities around the world. We're super fortunate to have her as our coordinator for this program. So without further ado, a round of applause for Célica.
Thank you for that beautiful introduction. Yeah. Well, I'm super happy to be here. We are going to present, like, chronologically how this residency went. It were like 10 days at the Colegio Mayor Peñafort. We all lived together in there, and one of each other teach one workshop to the others during 10 days. That was the experience, and how Stephen said, it was like they have very different backgrounds, and they have different knowledge of different techniques. So it was very interesting, and that was an incredible experience. I'm very happy to be coordinating this. We have the idea at first was in the morning we have as you see in the image, and we have a theoretical part when each one of them presents a theoretical part of their work on the technique that they were going to teach the others. And by afternoon, we go to the IEFC, the institute, we tell to the IEFC. So and start to the practical part. We thought this would be 2 hours of theory and 4 of practice, but it went a lot more. So
that was also theoretical, right? The time limits didn't always.
No, theoretical were 3 hours, and then the practical part was until we felt exhausted, and that was
which was often.
Yeah, it was often, and it was great. So. Here's an example of the Gonchi's that it's here. Gonchi's workshop. This is the practical part, but he is going to talk to you after about his workshop. But this is I don't know where
I feel that it's kind of almost a religious moment.
Yeah,
coming to the light here.
It was
it's a moment of solarization.
It was like seeing the light at that moment. And we were doing reversal process. That's but with film. at his workshop, but he's going to tell you more about it in a little while. That was the idea. But this group has been like amazing, and we are like we have a very good friendship now, all of us. So we are going to the next one. I am presenting the wonderful Scarlet Galicia from. Sorry. I am presenting now the wonderful Scarlet Galicia from Querétaro, Mexico. Mexico. And she is going to talk about what she did at this residence.
Well, I'm Scarlet. I'm a digital artist, and for this time I had the opportunity to show to these beautiful people the technique of augmented reality. So we were working together through our own projects or our own photographies, but making some augmented reality. So this is some of my personal projects, and we were there having the experience of augmented reality, all of us with the cell phones, and understanding how to connect our image to an animation and making animations with Premiere. We worked with Premiere and then with the app of RTVive. So yeah, it was really fun to see how we can convert this to something else. Yeah, we were there in Premiere. And how I can put the videos? Okay, so there is Ezequiel work with animation.
No.
Oh, well.
Okay.
Well, that was one animation
We
of
understand
Ezequiel.
Yeah, we understand the idea.
Ezequiel work with animation, and we had some other projects in the exhibition. Also, the soil chromatography of Google, we had it with animation. That was a really nice experience to combine our works, our techniques between us. It was a beautiful experience for me, and I hope for all of us.
Okay. Now we are presenting the work of Ezequiel Lovrovich. Ezequiel is from Córdoba, Argentina, and he is going to talk about his project. The project is about embroidery and cyanotype, but not only, it's more than that embroidery and cyanotype. So he's going to talk a little bit about it. Go now, Ezequiel.
Okay. Hello there. Thank you for being here. Can you go through? Yeah, thank you. Okay. I started working with cyanotype as a way to work with photography in some way. I actually study visual arts in Argentina, and so I plan always to go beyond just photography. It's another tool for me. So I started approaching cyanotype as a way to understand some semiotical notions, working with some authors, Charles Peirce, for example. We were working with those presentations in the morning, explain some notions to approach our production, but as a way to not to focus only on the representation, on the image, but other things that happens in the production of images. So these two, these two were some of my previous works. The one over there was the project I submitted for the residency, so that's what we were working on, but as a collective patchwork. You'll see some pictures then. And this one in the other side is a botanical cyanotype, but stretching the canvas in a different, weird way to get different results and not get only the common prints of botanical, but to see something else. So my workshop was called Cianotipia Textil y Bordado para entender la producción de imágenes, which could be in English textile cyanotype and embroidery to understand our image creation. So what we did in the first place was to print some portraits we needed to bring from someone, or someone significant in some way for us. And we printed on fabrics. Each of us needed to bring from home too, so as a way to use some straps or other fabric left with history and not only just buying new fabric at a store. So after we printed our own image, which was the first part of the workshop, we actually, the idea was not to embroider just the one we made, but we made a kind of shuffle or something, and each one of us embroidered another's. So the idea of this was to get to know each other, as we were all in a big table such as we are now and embroidering, and the embroidery wasn't freely. I'll go to that in a moment, but the idea was that while we were embroidering, we can connect with each other and start asking questions. So who's this image and why you brought it? And that's the way we all started getting a little emotional on that part and sharing really deep stuff. And even though it was the second day we were together. So it was a really nice way to get to know us. And that was really important for the project. The idea was not to embroider whatever we wanted, but just go through the blank spaces, the white stains of cyanotype, so as to embroider in blue too. The idea was not to recognize the portrait, but just seeing stains abstract. So the idea was go through an in between figurative and abstract work. So that's like the semiotic part of it. It's pretty nicely explained in a longer period, maybe. And for the result we had, we made a nice patchwork all together, as the patchwork we made emotionally in that table, talking to each other. And the idea is hang this in the institute. The idea is not only to see the front of it, but also the reverse part. So it's also we create some topography, cartography, just with threads, and not recognizing the image, but doing something else, creating something else. So that was the idea. And the other picture, the other slide, the previous one, we wanted to include this in the presentation because in the first place, we couldn't finish that day. So the embroidering went all
through the city, really.
Yeah,
all through the
the
city.
trains, the beach,
all along the whole journey we had. We finished some days prior to the exhibition only. So it was always with us, and that was also really nice for the conceptual part behind the piece.
his turn. Oh, cool.
Okay. Yeah. Yeah. When I select the project of Ezequiel, I like the idea that it was like the proposal of him was like a collaborative work as finishing. That's always the idea, that we can make one piece, and that's was for all the group. And I like a lot that part of collaborative work that dissolve which is one works. We talk with Gonchi, for example, about the egos, and let that go, that part of the names, or that belongs to him or her, or no, this like a lot of work that Gonchi, I think you are going to talk about the collaborative work on the reversal process and in the projection, but was always this idea. And talking about the connection, I think this group, we connected like real fast, and it was great. I am very happy about the selection. I am very proud of the selection that I did, because they are all great people. So we passed to the soil chromatographies. Yeah, by the great Gul.
Okay, so everybody hears me? Yes, thank you. I grew up in Istanbul, and I'm Turkish. And then I moved to America and lived 25 years. I'm in the stage of moving to Italy and slowly starting the residence in Italy. I've been in Barcelona quite enough. This is my third year in Experimental Photo Festival, and I think another 2 times as a tourist. But something that I thought about, what can I bring? The artist residency. And for me, the base about Barcelona, instead of what I can do, is we've been spending so much time and stepping on the street, running around every day, everything that is about Barcelona. As soon as I touch the floor, the ground belongs to us, because we have it. We have it deeper connection that we don't realize. For me, soil is the essential element. So instead of what I bring, I want to introduce Barcelona to you. So that's what I decided to choose, soil chromatography. I do many techniques, but I think these techniques somehow is close to my soil to soil, soil to soul. So I mean, I feel really related to it. Maybe my background is ceramic, and maybe my childhood comes immediately, but I really connected. So for me, soil chromatography is also, you can create your own ink with the soil, and you can adapt to any places. So that's why I decided to bring soil chromatography. And my idea is collecting as much as soil I can, but there is a time limit, because we have 1 day, including the practical and theoretical part. So I decided to limit it myself, because I'm very ambitious. I want to see many soils. Then I collect only 15 soil. We were going places. They were seeing me under the bushes collecting soil. Middle of the night, oh, it looks different color, and I'm jumping in. They're like, yeah, wow. And I'm carrying soils everywhere. And then at the end, I basically, because of the limitation of time, there's 3 locations that I finally adapt myself. Sometimes I'm thinking, I'm grabbing the soil. I don't know if there is a dog pee or any other human pee. I'm like, okay. All this mental level comes inside place. And then I brought finally 15 soil, and then I number them. Basically, everybody's picked their soil. We ended 10 soil sample. Then the idea is giving the Barcelona a map and putting them all together. And this is totally collective work, and there is no name in the front as much as I can try. because it's Barcelona. Because we're breathing through, we're touching the floor, the ground of ancestral line of Barcelona. It could be Madrid, could be anywhere, but we are on this earth, planet of Earth. That's what my concept was. And my friends, they were so enthusiastically entertained themselves too, and they were splashing all these brush strokes, and they try everything possible. And I enjoy a lot working with them. And I'm really grateful this residency, because we are the first comers. We didn't know what it is going to be, what we're going to do, but we have some concept. Experimental festival, for the festival, they didn't give us a guideline, which gives us a freedom to whatever we want to do. That was fantastic. And it was intense, I have to tell you. 10 days, living together, every sense of it, putting the idea together. And sometimes I didn't see, is it gonna really end, this especially Ezequiel work? We still stitch. I'm like, no, it's not gonna. I went to bed 3-4 o'clock in the morning to finish all this embroidery. And the beginning of the session, we had a Zoom session, and we have 3 mentally thinking, 3 embroidery. What am I gonna do? I don't have a patient. I'm a hyper person. What am I gonna do? Like, you know, over the time, I learned so much. I'm addicted now to embroidery. They are killer. I enjoy a lot, and every technique that I want to learn, some of the technique was I really intrigued by learning that in idea, and I learned. And we also built a friendship, and we cry, we laugh, and we discover many things. And we also met in person, like in spirit, not like a face-wise. So I'm so appreciating this experience. Thank you all. Thank you being here too.
Thank you. Oh, I can say almost anything after you. It was so thank you for being here. So we are going now with Lexy. Lexy is from China, but you are living in Norway, right? Yeah.
I'm living in Bergen, Norway.
Okay.
And I share the technique, chromostatic paintings with sapphire and silver mirroring with so many amazing people here. Yeah. And I'd like to talk a bit about my experience, because it's the first time I have been involved in this experimental photography community, and it's also the first time I teach the workshop. And my technique is a very complicated one, and we are have different knowledge and experience in the darkroom. I think that's the difficult part, but it's also the great part. We are in the residency because we share different experience and knowledge to each other and learn a lot from each other. The reason why I come to this residency is that I want to have this kind of experience to know if I can teach a workshop or if I like teaching, and also share my knowledge and techniques to others. If you are interested in the technique, I published an article in alternativephotography.com, so everyone can try the technique with my recipe and processes.
And patience.
A lot of patience.
Yeah, I think I'm very happy to be here, like to be involved in this community. It's a very good experience for me. Yeah.
Thank you, Lexy.
Thank you.
Thank you, Lexy. Yeah, we are so happy that we can talk that much. But now we are going with
Dany.
with Dany Vigil. With the work with Dany Vigil. Dany Vigil is at home right now. He got back home. He's a visual artist from El Salvador, but he's now living and working in the Czech Republic. I don't know if I say it well. His proposal was about embroidery also. And they asked me why I pick like 3 projects that involve the embroidery, but they are so different between them that it's like Dany was like he works with stitches on paper, and with Ezequiel we work with cyanotype that was very different. And for Dany's workshop, he teaches the basic stitches of embroidery, and that was very useful and very interesting. But this is the
Sorry,
yeah.
may I add?
That yeah.
Also, the difference was that Dany's workshop was more on adding something to the image
Yeah.
with the embroidery, and mine was more of it wasn't adding other stuff, but
Like
creating,
It's like some
erasing the portrait or destroying the image, creating something new of the image, from the image.
Yeah.
And Dany's was to make it more powerful or increase the intensity of the message.
Not like intervene the support, and yours was like most like destroy the iconicity of the image. I think that was the difference. That in Dany's workshop was like adding something to the image. We work on paper with the embroidery, and you can see something like some of his previous work that I found it amazing. Like the one of the meeting, no, the previous one, no. Oh my! This is this is my favorite. I think he's like a capture of a video call, and he made these interventions with embroidery, and so with that work I say, yeah, Dany has to be here. So we are very thankful to have it here, but now it's at home, but we love him very much. So now we are going with the work of Gonchi that have a lot to say about his technique.
Hi everybody, thank you for being here. My name is Gonchi Rostán. I'm an experimental photographer from Montevideo, Uruguay. I'm also a psychologist, and my work goes through understanding the different ways that we connect with the term of reality. I think being a psychologist, a transpersonal psychologist, was a very important thing for the pictures that I decided to take. And for this residency, I decided to mix the concept of alchemy and photography. So I decided to give a workshop on, first we go through photography, through experimental photography, and then we develop these negative films through a positive film. So we start from a negative and we turn it into positive. And this kind of thing of alchemy that all the things that are in the dark needs to see the light to get integrate. So I work around that concept, and this is kind of my previous work, but the important thing here was to go in through this concept. For me, it was very important, the conceptual part. And also, in the workshop, we work a lot in the darkroom because we need to make two different development processes. The first one that we made, it was with cafenol. It was a base of coffee. Here I'm preparing that formula of cafenol. After that, we solarized these negative images to get into positive way. And after that, we gave a C41 development in color to give it this kind of color. Actually, it's not a positive, like as you are used to see, like in a Ektachrome, for example, but it's a kind of images that reach different colors. And for me, it was important to work on this concept of bringing something from the negative, from the shadows to the lights. So I really enjoyed the work here. For me, I'm very proud of being here. I'm very glad. I learned a lot from each other. I learned how to embroider. That was my first time connecting with this technique. For me, it was so much embroidery, but in a way, I enjoy it too.
Your fingers didn't enjoy
My fingers didn't enjoy it because I scratch it all the time. But it was I connect a lot with that technique because I was to be like very present in the moment and exercising the presence. I think it's very important for all the things that we do. For example, when I take pictures, I try to get in that state of presence. And when I learned to embroidery, I was thinking of that I need to reach the same state. So for me, it was important to practice the state of presence. So thank you, Ezequiel, and thank you, Dany, wherever you are, and thank you, Lucía, too, for giving to me this new tool. This is more of the results of the workshop. They are kind of positive. And there is also, if you want to take a look more through the negative positive, they are exposed on the IEFC in a slide projector, so you can see more details about this technique. I think that's all.
Okay, thank you, Gonchi.
Thank you, Célica, for guiding us to this.
It was great, your workshop. I enjoyed a lot. And we have like this moment, like you saw on the previous photos, that it was like this religious experience we open our tanks and we see, oh yeah, this is positive. Like this. It was a great positive moment. Yeah, it was a great moment for us.
I also can say something.
Yeah, you can say something.
And it's thank you, Gonchi, for the technique. And it's like I have a new motivation to take photos. Because I was a bit tired of taking photos before, but there's like new thing that I can try, like to experiment. So it's thank you.
You too, Lexy.
And also I want to say that please use fresh film because my film was 2006.
Yes.
I didn't know. I was almost dying.
Don't use expired film for making this, please.
A little bit expired. Yeah. So now we are going with Ana Mundim from Brazil. We can no.
Okay.
No,
Hi. Well, I'm very happy to be here. It was really an intense but very beautiful week. And I need to say that for me, much more than learn techniques, it was learn much about life with those beautiful people who are here besides me. And for me, it was a really interesting experience because each one of them has an objective technique to share. And I didn't bring a technique, but an experience. And it was much more to share a methodology that I developed that's called photochoreographies. And the idea is to approach some dispositives of improvisation in dance with the act of photograph. So it's much more how we can just take care of our own bodies as photographers and stop a little bit and make a pause to look for us as human beings and as bodies, and how through sensibilizing our bodies we can start to look to the others and look to the space. So we work a lot about touching and moving, and touching not only each other but also the space, and think about our skin, but also about the skin of the air, the skin of the floor, the skin of the walls, and trying to move our own bodies also to see the world through different points of view. And we work a lot in pairs also, and after this we started to make some tasks that I just shared, that they were like for people to look to each other, and we did like some holes to scan the other's body and try to see some details that's sometimes we are not paying attention for them. And then we just changed the gesture for the camera, and then we continue like improvising, moving and taking the pictures with this gesture. And afterwards we just went to a period of experiencing ourselves in partners, and we used some prismas and filters and fabric, things that we could use to think about the act of photograph as an improvisation act, and how can we edit the image the way that we want to edit at the same time that we are taking the photograph, and not thinking about a post-edition in any place. So it can be done with analogic camera also, and there were some people that made, like Gonchi. But in this residency, we have the hurry to print the image for the exhibition that's in the Institute of Photography. So we need to use also the digital camera for this residency. And then in the same day, we just decided which photographs we would use. And one important part of the work is thinking about how can we show this for people, like in which way we can exhibit the photographs, that they can be invited to move with us while they are seeing the photographs. So the idea is not just to see with the eyes, but see with the whole body. And the way that we found, I don't know if everybody saw there in the institute, but we did little envelopes with some holes, because we were like looking for each other like this. So we did some holes, and we can see just a little part of the photograph. And then kind of we invite people to open the envelope and see the whole photograph over there. And it's also there like in different weights. So there is also this movement that people has to do to see the photograph. So they kind of move with us. So that's it. It's much more way of thinking about process and ways to be creative and use our imagination to approach to the photograph. And it was very beautiful. So thank you, guys.
Thank you. And it was like very emotional too. And we needed like something to use and remember that our bodies and our spaces, and it was like something so different to the other projects that is had to be. And like you said, the idea to put this workshop a few days after that we meet each other was like, I think that was good because we have like much more confidence, and I think we knew each other a lot more to work with something that is so like, I don't know, working with the body is not the same for all people, so that's, well, thank you for that. And now we are going to the workshop of Lucía, Lucía Calabrino. What?
Guess what we do with Lucía?
Guess what we do with Lucía Calabrino from Buenos Aires, Argentina.
We embroider.
Yeah, but with her it was different. She has a background as a painter. She has a lot of experience on that field of painting and experimenting with painting, but she started with to assist to the online classes at the Agora of Experimentation here at the Experimental Photo Festival, and then she started to work with some alternative processes. Yeah. And she worked with aerial embroidery. That was like it's a very difficult technique, yeah, for for us. I don't know if any of you have something to say about it.
It was kind of a nice opportunity for a lot of us to expand upon what we started with Dany's project, doing embroidery on paper. And so in this instance, we were embroidering on this material, like a cellulose of some kind, creating a form which then got dissolved in water. And so we were able to join it with these other images that we might have started, or another piece. And so it's taking, the embroidery that to a different space. We started on cloth, then moved to paper, and then this sort of is in air and could become a link from an image or an object to another. So it's, this sort of, we kind of got a wide range of embroidery in this experience.
It was a lot. So, and now for the last, the best for the last, we are going.
I wish I would have worn this shirt today.
Yeah. we are going with the work of Stephen that is here, and he is going to explain better than me what was about his workshop.
So my name's Thank you. My name's Stephen Takacs. I'm an artist from the U.S., from Columbus, Ohio. Over the years, I've worked a lot with kind of camera hacks and camera building, as well as direct positive processes, like working with like the Ilford direct positive paper in really large cameras, or dry plate tintypes. At one point, I did a Kodachrome project, RIP Kodachrome. And so here, I was working with a technique I've been exploring with a friend back home, Matt Marash, on RA4 reversal, which is a process in which you expose an image directly onto color enlarging paper. So paper you would use to print color negative, and expose that in a large format camera and develop it in such a way so that the final product is color positive. And so that's what we were working on here in the workshop. I started working with this technique kind of more heavily during the pandemic. And so this was a self-portrait I did as I was sort of figuring out how to balance the color in this technique. It involves a lot of like filtration in front of the lens to make an image that isn't blue. If you use the paper right out of the bag, you get what looks kind of like a cyanotype on RC paper. So, it involves it's kind of a fussy process. So here at the residency, the last day at the residency, working as a group, we were in the photo studio at the IEFC, using their lights, and the sort of prompt was to work in pairs. Everyone drew a number and selected a partner at random from the group, and we were making portraits together, self-portraits, or excuse me, double exposure portraits, combining images in camera. And so again, it becomes sort of another way for us to come together as a group and work together on this challenge. And for those of you who are in town, examples of this work is at the Institute. And again, like all the other projects, we're kind of presented as one piece together. Which leads us to our exhibition.
Yeah. Well, thank you. Yeah, this was like very interesting, but and at some point, Gonchi, you changed a little bit like the project that you are going and of the workshop that you are going to present. But I thought that it could like you work with reversal process on film and you work on paper, and I think that would be great. So I'd say yes, change it. Yes. So and the other thing was the thing that why it got confusing the name of the workshop. Yeah. Because you changed it because I didn't understand at first about if you are going to work with Polaroid or you are going to work with the RI4 process.
Yeah. Originally, I titled the workshop DIY 8x10 Polaroids or something like that, and then it got very confused. So the title changed to RA4 Reversal, formerly known as DIY Polaroids, because that got too confusing.
That is a long name for a workshop, yeah. Well, we are going to go to the exhibition and think that all the techniques that they were describing were made in 9 days, yeah. All day. And by the 10th day, we started to put how's the word that is now mounting? You say a very good way to explain. Install the work. Yeah, we started to installing the work for the exhibition. We has a lot of thinking the previous day, but that was the day in which we started to install the work at the room, the Sala del Vice in the Institute. So if you want to tell something about the exhibition, I will. Yeah, Scarlet.
I think that the experience to put all our works together of what we did all these days was really
and makes sense to not all put together like
you can see like the soul of everyone in all the techniques, and that's really beautiful. We can you can see how everything connects each other, or at least I can see it, like I feel it over there. The interaction that we had, starting to decide how to put it there, it was at first time kind of difficult, and then flows with all of us when we realized that egos can't be there. Like we removed the egos in our group, and we started to flow really nice, and I don't know, in some point we knew what to do and what to put in all the places, and we had a really nice place, all of us. I think that all of us are happy with the place that we had to put our stuff. I don't know, it was a really nice connection between everyone, and the experience to remove the egos was really nice.
And I want to say something, and I want to thank. We are very thankful to the people at the institute. They have a lot of patience with us, because at first we are going to be only by the afternoon, doing the practical part, but then they let us be there all day because of the heat. So it was they were amazing with us, and they helped us a lot to get all the stuff that we needed for so we want to thank you to all these people like Jurans or Carlas and Raúl, and I don't know.
I wanted to add
Ezequiel.
to the ego part you were describing, that we came here to Barcelona with previous work on our luggage, all of us, and we thought the space was going to be enough to put all the process work we did at the residency and our previous stuff. But in the end, that letting our egos aside was really essential to the exhibition, I believe, because in the end we couldn't show all the work, but if we would have done that, wouldn't be that special, I believe. There are some silences also in the exhibition that are important, and we show also some of people's work, previous ones, but not all of us showed our previous stuff. So I believe that was really important. It was a learning process also, to think properly on the exhibition itself, and think of us as a group and not as individuals, artists that want to show everything. So yeah, I wanted to add that.
Now, I don't know, you are saying something? Yeah.
For the exhibition, I think it's a pity that Stefan's process, because when the colors are changing in the chemicals, it's really amazing. So it's hard to show it from the final prints. So
the process was very important. That part I was forgetting about this, because we didn't know how. This is the first residency, so that the experimental photo festival proposed. So I think that we didn't know how the exhibition is going to work. So we asked them that what Ezequiel said, that for previous work, because we don't know if we are going to have results or not, but we have this is going to be an exhibition of work in progress or the processes, and not of final pieces, but we como que, no sé cómo se dice, como que pasamos nuestras expectativas. ¿Cómo es?
Yes, I think we're best that we expect.
Yeah.
And I think it's important that we all understand that it was showing the process and showing the experience of these 10 days, and not reaching into a result of a super exhibition, very well curated. It was not essential, the result. But on the other hand, we reach a result that we all were very happy. So I think that's important.
Yeah, because we have we talked about the exhibition as a exhibition of work in progress, but we have some results that we are very happy with this result, and we work as a real collective exhibition and not like individual ones put it in the same room. That was the idea, to work collectively.
Can I add something?
Yeah.
I really want to thank to Go, because it was my first time to make an animation for other different, like so different technique than I am like working before. So for me it was beautiful that you give me the value of your workshop to make an animation and to put my technique into your technique. It was a really nice connection. I felt like you give me the permission to do it, like do whatever you want, and I was feeling so free to work with that and to make the animation. I enjoy it, so I'm really happy that I connect that thing in the exhibition. Yeah, that's how you can see the collaboration that we have.
Yeah, it's real collaborative work. It's not like but the one person did everything or something. It's like working all together. That was very, but it went like naturally. It not like forced. Let's think like I don't know, like, and it came like this. Was very natural. So I don't know if anyone wants to say anything.
We can.
Yeah.
There is a question.
Yeah.
Or,
Someone. Yeah.
or comment or whatever you want to know. This is the moment.
I wish this will continue because it's first year, and hoping that it will continue, and then maybe a new structure, new idea. But I think this having 9 techniques is even overwhelming. But at the end, when we go home, we're going to have these elements in our treasure box. Especially Scarlet techniques blew my mind. When I give the solar chromatography images, we work, but then I said, do whatever you want to do, because I trust her creativity. Somehow we were already connected with her. She's my other sister, and then when she brought the images, I'm like, that's what I wanted. How did you know it? I didn't say anything, but it was like a mental and soul connection that we all have. And that day in the exhibition, I was like a little bit afraid that we're going to be frantic and stressed. And that day, everybody was so quiet. It was very meditating state. Looked like we know what we're going to do, even we didn't know at the moment. But something like is in the TV, you saw they give you go shopping and come back with this and cook it, right? This is exactly like a what they call a project to finish in a day. Yeah, so it was nice. Thank you.
Yeah, and you all made easy the processes. I knew some of the processes. Embroidery is the one that I knew anything about it, but the others I was testing some of the techniques that they were presenting, and they made very easy to work with. For example, I was working with reversal processing on paper, and they were always very bad the results, and you made so easy to learn it. So, and that was a very important part. Yeah.
Looks like one of the lights went up earlier, so I think we're about out of time. Is that correct?
Yeah, I think we are. Yeah, we're good with the time. I think. Yeah.
Well, is there any questions from the group out there for us? Any thoughts, feelings?
Totally different approaches, different techniques, and then you sort of have to all sit and work together. It just seems like a good party. So it's clear you guys had a good time with that. So it's just fun to watch. No question. It's great to hear about it.
Thank you.
Thank you. Yeah, it was fun, and yeah, it's a challenge, like to select this. We receive a lot of applications for this, and to select something that you must like feel or think that, oh, I think that these people could be good, and if I call them to a place, but it's a challenge. You don't know how it's going to work. They could be like horrible to each other. I don't know. But I think that the project of workshop that they present, the techniques, and I was looking for the spice of the embroidery that. Well, but I think that we need like variety, like a lot of people from different countries, different backgrounds, different like techniques. Yeah, thank you. That's what we need. That is what I don't know, like algo así como que nos enriquece a todos. Sí.
I know this is a very broad question, but I'm kind of curious what happened that surprised you the most, any of you, or like something unexpected?
The heat of the bedroom.
The heat
of the bedroom.
Yeah, that was a real concern early on.
Yeah, and on the first days, yeah.
It was like a miraculous moment when we were able to get fans, and it was like very significant.
Yeah, we can start to think better. Yeah.
No, for me it was like the exhibition. For me, it was a surprising thing because I was not really worried about this. I was much worried about the process. But we are so different, so we had so different expectations about this also, and somehow it just had like one day to organize everything there. So I was like, okay, how are we gonna do this with such different ways of thinking about the same thing? But I have to thank not only Célica, but all of you, because when you say that it was easy, it's because we really made it flow somehow and respect the different ways of being. So, like seeing the things just being organized over there in a so quickly way and so easy way, there was no conflict to decide things. We're just like talking to each other and trying to find the best thing for the exhibition and not for each one of us, you know. So for me, it was the most surprising thing. And also, I have to say that it's beautiful, but it's tiring at the same time. So I think, like Célica, it's difficult to be in the middle of so many things happening at the same time. You know, there is the schedule time, there is our emotion, feelings also, and the heat, and you know, many things to manage. And she did this in a so lovely way. And I have to thank, I get emotional, but I know that's very difficult to do this. And I'm very thankful for you, really. And well, that's it. I was very surprised about how people were really open to each other. Because sometimes it's very difficult to find this in a group, especially like 10 days. It's not easy. Our moods like change a lot also with everything. So to see that people were there, you know, like, okay, I'm tired, but I'm here, and I try to find some energy to be with you right now, and if I don't have energy, you respect this also. Okay, that's not your turn, so take a rest, and then you come back. So it was a very respectful group, and this for me, it was like the thing that I care most of the process.
Well, thank you, Anna. I don't know what to say after this. Thank you, Anna.
For me, a couple things actually that's exciting, but I never thought that I will be feeling a fish in an aquarium. I'm just looking at outside, but I cannot integrate to Barcelona because we start from 10 o'clock to 9 p.m., 10 p.m. So it was very intense, and the intensity was not in my plan. My physical cooperation with the artist residency started diminishing, and then limitations start, and I'm like, wow, that's surprising. And I never live with anybody except my partner, but he goes to work, right? These guys doesn't go to work. They're always here. So we have to live together.
We all work in the same office.
Yeah, same office every day. I mean, it was, the name of it is, it was intense, but we cry. That was so good because of Anna's workshop. I think helped us to, as a turning point to let it go, because we have to do the right job, good job, present everything the way, because there was no rule and no box. In a way, we were not in the box, but sometimes it's good to be in the rules and stuff that we would know. But thanks to Anna, that workshop really shifted us. And for me, it was really relaxing. After that, everything came and we started crying. That was fantastic. That was, I wasn't expecting. And also, as I said, the embroidery, besides Scarlet technique, augmented reality, is not my cup of tea. I'm mostly analog photographer. My God, I'm looking forward to go back home to work with this technique too, along with, of course, Stephen and Gonchi's and Lexy's and Anna's as we do. So thank you so much. That's what it was for me.
I just want to add something, because I thought about this every day. The language thing is also a question, you know, because like I speak Portuguese and we have to stay in between English and Spanish all day. So it takes energy also. So it's important to think about this, how we can take care of ourselves also and have patience of ourselves, because sometimes we're trying just to communicate to someone and you can't, because you are so tired that your brain can't think anymore in another idiom, in another language that's not yours. So this is also a thing, and it's also I think Lucía said this one day. It was like an Spanish class, no, an English class that she had, because there is also this, you know, we're learning more words in another language, and it's also a kind of learning that we have here. So yeah. It was incredible.
A good practice. Yeah. So, yeah, Justin.
Hello.
Hello.
Are you going to stay doing stuff with each other in any way? And is this going to carry on next year? And questions like that.
Oh, I have something. I have something to say with that. I think that all of us learn. So I really think that all of us learn so different ways to create and to be in touch with light and photography, that in a personal way, I am really feeling a lot of connection with all these techniques. So I really want to work at my place with my projects and start to introduce all this knowledge. I am feeling really creative because of all these amazing artists. Like, I have a bunch of ideas, and I think that it punched me a lot to start to work different stuff and to start to reach different ways to create at my place. So. And also I want them in Mexico. Yeah. I want to invite them to Mexico, and I want to visit them also to their places. So the thing is that we connect and we are making friends from all around the world, and that's really nice. That's also really nice.
I want made it up. We have a plan. I hope this plan works. We're planning to take this exhibition. The countries, right? Are we on it? Are we on it? If anyone knows, we can exhibit this exhibition a little bit extended way. Please let us know so we can carry to Italy. Okay, Norway, Brazil,
Argentina, yeah.
United States.
Uruguay.
United States.
But I don't know. I think that's an interesting question and one that we should keep talking about more, everyone. How we can sustain a connection and keep working together. I think that's something that's been on my mind, but we really haven't, honestly, had a chance to talk about in a lot of ways. We've been kind of pushing forward so much, making things, making an exhibit, and then coming to the festival, and yeah, it's really, I would like to keep having a dialogue about that and how we can keep
Totally.
working together or inspiring each other, sharing what we're doing. I will get on the WhatsApp thing. I'm sorry, I haven't done it yet. I promise I will.
Download it, please. We need to talk.
I was trying to find that word, inspiration. It was a punch of inspiration the 10 days. Like we had a lot of inspiration. I feel like that.
A boost of inspiration, yeah.
And we were also talking about that there are some things that maybe we just did here. So we had this experience together. I was talking to Célica that last year I came and did her Van Dyck workshop, but when I arrived in Brazil, there was no Van Dyck to sell. So I couldn't continue, but the experience with her opened me for many other things in my work that, okay, I couldn't do the Van Dyck, but the experience with her opened my eyes to test other textures or other materials. So sometimes it's just this, like the work that Lexy shared for me was so beautiful, but I can't see the possibility to continue this in the place where I live. But maybe yes, maybe no, but now I have to come back and find out how to do it. But if I didn't do it, I had a very good time with her and learning what she does. And there is not only to be with technique, but the way she thinks the process, don't know. And also like the embroidery, that it's a very slow action. So I really want to come back and have more time in my work to experiment this, So. And also, I think it's super possible for us to think about projects together. It's not easy, but it's possible. So I think now there is this time that we need some rest and breathe to think about the future and what kind of things we can do. Maybe it's hard to do financially everybody together in all our places, but then maybe 2 or 3 people can meet someplace and then we can send something to each other through internet. I don't know, there are many possibilities right now, so that's it.
So we have a lot to process, I think. Yeah. Yeah.
Let's experimentate with our friendship.
Yeah. Well, we are finishing now, I think. If anyone has any... Yeah, you can add something.
Like in terms of the part, like you asked, which surprised me most, I think it's the part like how to arrange the workshop, since the dark room, like the dark room in IEFC, I haven't been there before, so it's also the new new environment for me. So it's like it's not like the dark room I'm used to be. And for the technique, we need the white light and the red light. And the red light is not in the switch is not in the like the dark room with the enlarger. So it's hard to think a way like to arrange all the thing. Yeah, but I think it's a good challenge, like to experience. And maybe if I want to do the workshop in the future, and then I can think about how I can improve it. Yeah, so it's a good experience and challenge for me. Yeah.
Well, I think we are finishing. So thank you.
Thank you.
Yeah, thank you for coming. Yeah, thank you. Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, okay.